Kody Brown stood in the middle of his Flagstaff home, admiring his latest purchase, a sleek, high-powered $360 and Vitamix blender. The metallic sheen gleamed under the kitchen lights, and he couldn't help but grin. "This baby can pulverize anything," he muttered, pouring in a mix of organic berries, protein powder, and a splash of almond milk. The machine roared to life, blending the ingredients into a silky smoothie that he believed epitomized his new health-conscious lifestyle. But as he sipped from his oversized tumbler, the real storm brewed just outside the pristine walls of his home. Coyote Pass, once a dream of unity for the Brown family, had become a battleground of resentment, broken promises, and mounting financial strain. Janelle and Meri, both standing on the sidelines of Kody's extravagant spending habits, were growing increasingly frustrated, and they weren't alone. Janelle had been crunching numbers for weeks. Sitting at her modest dining table, she flipped through her financial statements with a furrowed brow. The costs of Coyote Pass were mounting. The land had been purchased with the promise that one day the Browns would build homes and live harmoniously, but that dream was slipping further from reality with each passing year. And now, amid all the financial stress, Kody was out here buying luxury blenders and custom-made leather jackets. "Are you kidding me?" she huffed, pulling out her phone to fire off a text to Meri. "Janelle, Kody just bought a $360 and Vitamix. Meanwhile, I'm here trying to figure out how we're going to make these property payments." "Meri, unbelievable. He's out of touch. Again." "Janelle, I'm ready to be done with this." Meri didn't respond right away, but she didn't have to. Janelle knew they were on the same page, more than ever before. Later that week, Kody called a family meeting at Coyote Pass, eager to discuss the next steps for development. Janelle and Meri arrived separately, both wearing expressions that betrayed their growing discontent. Christine had already left the family. Janelle had been trying to hold on, to keep things together for the sake of the land she had always dreamed of living on. But Kody's constant excuses, his refusal to take financial responsibility, and now his reckless spending habits were making that nearly impossible. "All right, let's get started," Kody said, flashing his signature salesman-like smile. "I have a vision, and I want us all to be on the same page." Meri crossed her arms. "That's interesting, Kody, because from where I'm standing, it looks like you've got a vision for yourself, not the family." Janelle nodded. "We need to talk about finances. This land isn't free. And while you're out there buying overpriced kitchen gadgets, some of us are actually worried about how we're going to afford building anything here." Kody let out a dramatic sigh. "Oh, come on, a Vitamix, really? You're making a big deal out of nothing." "It's not just the blender," Janelle shot back. "It's the expensive truck, the custom boots, the frequent trips to see Robin's kids, while the rest of us barely get a conversation with you. It's all of it, Kody." The tension was palpable. Even the wind seemed to howl through the empty land, echoing the growing divide between them. Back at Robin's house, Kody vented about the confrontation. "They're blowing everything out of proportion," he grumbled, dramatically sinking into the couch. "I work hard, I deserve nice things." Robin, ever the doting wife, placed a reassuring hand on his knee. "You do work hard, Kody. You sacrifice so much for this family." But even she couldn't deny that things were unraveling. Janelle and Meri were slipping away, and Christine was long gone. The dream of Coyote Pass, the family unity they had all once envisioned, was crumbling beneath them. And at the center of it all was Kody, oblivious, stubborn, and still sipping his $360 in smoothies. Kody Brown adjusted the speed on his brand new Vitamix, watching as the bright green smoothies swirled into a vortex of supposed health and vitality. He smirked, reveling in the power of the $360 in blender, as if it were some grand investment rather than just another lavish purchase. "This thing is amazing," he muttered to himself, pouring the thick mixture into his insulated tumbler. But outside of Kody's self-indulgent bubble, tensions were boiling. His other wives, especially Janelle and Meri, had been growing increasingly frustrated. Coyote Pass, the dream they were all supposed to share, was in limbo. The money meant for the property's development seemed to disappear into thin air, while Kody's spending habits raised more questions than answers. And this Vitamix? It was just another unnecessary expense in a long list of luxuries he'd treated himself to, despite the Browns' mounting financial issues. The moment Janelle saw the sleek blender perched on the counter at Kody and Robin's house, she felt her blood pressure spike. "You've gotta be kidding me," she mumbled under her breath. Meri, who had just walked in behind her, took one look at Janelle's face, then at the shiny Vitamix. She raised an eyebrow. "Seriously?" she scoffed. Robin, always quick to defend Kody, walked into the kitchen and forced a smile. "Oh, Kody's really into smoothies now," she said lightly, as if that justified the absurd expense. Janelle crossed her arms. "So let me get this straight. You can drop $360 and on a fancy blender, but we can't even break ground on Coyote Pass." Kody, sipping from his tumbler, sighed heavily, as if he were the one suffering. "Oh, come on, Janelle, it's not like I'm out buying Ferraris." Janelle's glare was enough to melt steel. "No, but you're spending like a man who doesn't have a family to support." Silence hung thick in the room. Robin cleared her throat. "Janelle, I don't think." "No, Robin," Janelle cut her off. "I think I've had enough of this. We're supposed to be a family. We're supposed to be building something together. But instead, Kody is spending money on things that benefit no one but himself." Kody placed his tumbler down with an exaggerated sigh. "Janelle, You're making a big deal out of nothing." Janelle let out a bitter laugh. "Nothing? Kody, do you even hear yourself? I've been the one pushing to get Coyote Pass moving forward. I've been the one who still believes in this, and yet every time we try to make progress, you drag your feet. But when it comes to things for yourself, somehow, there's always money for that." Meri nodded. "She's right, Kody. It's not just the Vitamix. It's the custom leather jackets, the expensive truck, the countless trips for things that benefit you and Robin while the rest of us wait." Kody ran a hand through his curls, clearly exasperated. "You two act like I'm out here throwing money away. I work hard. I deserve nice things." Janelle shook her head, stepping closer. "What about what we deserve? What about what this family deserves?" Kody looked between the two women, sensing that this wasn't just about a blender anymore. This was about everything. And he had no good answer. Days passed, but the tension didn't. Janelle and Meri weren't backing down, and soon the inevitable happened. Kody called a family meeting at Coyote Pass. They gathered at the property, standing in a semicircle on the dusty land that was supposed to be their future. The wind blew through the open fields, a sharp contrast to the stillness between them. Christine, already free from this mess, wasn't there. Janelle envied that. "So," Kody started, arms crossed. "What's the issue this time?" Janelle gave a humorless laugh. "What's the issue, Kody? The issue is that you keep spending money on everything except what actually matters." He rolled his eyes. "Here we go again." Meri, arms folded, spoke up. "It's not just about spending. It's about priorities. You've made it clear that yours don't include this land or the rest of us." "I told you before," Kody said defensively. "We're waiting for the right time to start building." Janelle threw her hands up. "The right time, Kody? We've been waiting for years meanwhile. You're out here with your luxury purchases, while we're trying to figure out how to make this work." Robin stepped forward. "Janelle, I don't think it's fair to act like Kody isn't trying." Janelle turned to Robin sharply. "This isn't about you, Robin. This is about the rest of us trying to hold on to something that Kody clearly doesn't care about anymore." The air was heavy, the words hanging between them like a final warning. And then Janelle said what no one dared to say out loud. "I'm done." Meri turned to her, eyes widening. "Janelle." "I mean it." Janelle took a deep breath, steadying herself. "I can't keep waiting for Kody to care about this family again. I've spent too much time trying to make this work, but he's shown us who he is, and I believe him." Kody's jaw tightened. "You just gonna walk away?" Janelle held his gaze. "No, Kody, you already walked away. I'm just accepting it." And with that, she turned and walked back to her car, leaving Kody standing in the dust of the dream he let crumble. Janelle sat in her car for a long time after leaving Coyote Pass. She had fought for so long, She had wanted this to work, but now she saw the truth. Kody wasn't going to change. It wasn't just about the Vitamix. It was about the years of neglect, the shifting priorities, the way he slowly cut off everyone but Robin. And for what? A blender? A truck? A lifestyle that only served him. No. She deserved better. She started her car, a slow smile forming on her lips. It was time to start building a life without Kody Brown. Kody sat at his kitchen counter, staring at his Vitamix. The smoothie inside had melted, untouched. Janelle was gone. Meri would probably follow soon. Christine had already moved on. And suddenly, his fancy blender didn't seem like such a great investment after all.